movie coming out in 5 weeks.
How excited are you?
Howdy bitch, I'm Shade, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, consider subscribing and joining the hunt. As mentioned in the intro, the movie for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is set to release on December 5th. And Fnaf 2 was the game that really got me into the franchise, so I really wanted to do something special to get me in the Fazbear spirit. Pun not intended. Looking through screenshots of the Fnaf 2 game, I spotted the Carousel. For such an often mentioned item in the franchise, once featured in the security logbook and used as a key set piece in the faux script teasers for the second movie, the ride is somewhat lackluster in my opinion, which got me thinking, what if the Carousel in FNAF 2 had actual carousel horses? And what would they look like? That inspired the whole premise to this video. I'm going to redesign the carousel rides into looking like actual horses. For my design, I'm going to give each character that we see on the carousel, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, their own carousel horse that ties into their character. Kind of like how each character in Strawberry Shortcake had their own adjacent filly. I'm also taking inspiration from how popular the My Little Pony dolls were back in the 80s. You can't tell me that Fazbear Ent wouldn't see this popular toy line and try to get a piece of that pie. Or should I say piece of that pizza pie? So, since that's the only carousel in the games, I'll add these 4 to a wheel and spin for our first character. For Chica, I remembered her verse from the cut theme song.
Hey, I'm Chica, the lady of the group. My singing is a treat.
So sweet,
But keep an eye on your pizza.
'cause I'm a bird who likes to eat. Nom 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 nom.
Since this is the only glimpse, to my knowledge, of classic Chica's character, a singing bird character that has a sweet treat companion, I took this and ran. For her carousel horse, I wanted an Appaloosa pattern that mimics powdered sugar, with a spot pattern that looks like scattered sprinkles. For the horse's saddle, bridle, and drapery, I wanted them to look like piped icing on a cake, adding feathers to pull in the bird motif. I also decorated the blanket under the horse's saddle to match Chica's bib. And here's the finished design. Meet Sweet Treat Songbird. Alright, who's next? Okay, for the big boss bear himself, I went with a bay-inspired horse with a mane and tail and button/dressage braids for a put-together look. The horse's tack is blue with black bows to mimic Freddy's bow tie, and with treble, clef decals. And here's the finished design. teddy bear tunes. Next up, as you can probably see by now, I've been swatching colors from Bizabazow's amazing plushie designs. For Bonnie, however, I swatched the base colors from Withered Bonnie, because I am in the camp of Bonnie is blue, and Bizza used purple hues. For Bonnie's horse, I was using inspiration from a blue roan, aka a black horse with roaning. I also added a fishtail braid to the tail and a feather braid to the mane with red ribbons. The ribbons harken back to Bonnie's bow tie, and him being the most aggressive of the group. If you know, you know. The tack is similar to Toons, with bows and little rabbit decals on red and magenta tack. I wanted to add a bass clef, but couldn't figure out how to place it properly without anything floating. Well, Bonnie does ignore the rules of space, time, and physics. And it's done. Meet bounce to the base. And, last but not least, it's Foxy's turn. For Foxy's horse, I based the patterns off of a red dun, also known as a fox dun. I mean, it's right in the name. How could I not? The mane and tail are both spiky, and the horse's mane has braids with golden hoops braided in. The tack is a black saddle with silver chains, gold doubloons, and black drapes like the sails of a ship, and a purple blanket to match Pirate's Cove. This pony pirate wears their booty.
That be treasure, you know.
And there's the Jolly Reynard. And that's what I'm calling the Fazbear Fillies done. I love these four and feel like they fit the characters perfectly and would look amazing on a carousel ride in a Fazbear restaurant. Which one's your favorite? Leave a yellow heart in the comments if it's sweet, a blue heart in the comment if it's bounce, a brown heart if it's tunes, and a red heart if it's Reynard. Thankfully, that's the only carousel in the franchise, and I don't have to design more. That mean I had to do a sequel to this video and... Fuck!